Hey, and welcome back to the Wisdom Vault. This is Dr. Sonia, and do I have a treat for you today? It is How Do You Scale? Better yet, title is Turn a Coaching Program into a $1 million company. You heard me. Turn your coaching program, that one program, into a $1 million coaching company. What I realize in this industry, there are so many coaches that are out there, and they are trying to offer 3 and 4 and 5 different programs, which I get it because you want to be able to capture everyone. But I always say, go deep before you go wide. And what do I mean about go deep before you go wide? Going deep is learning exactly, or better yet, teaching exactly what you know, give it a very straightforward formula, and sell it to as many people as possible. So I'll give you some examples of what I mean. Turn your one coaching program into a $1 million company looks like this. I said there was about 4 corners of this, very simple. I was teaching today on one of my trainings, one of my events, and I was sharing with them about the tear and fold, very simple formula. If you would just learn how to tear and fold, which means following very simple instructions to the program or the journey that you're creating for people, and give them a step-by-step game plan, not allowing them to overthink it, and make it very simple. It doesn't matter if you're a life coach, you're a business coach, you're a divorce coach, you're a career consultant, a leadership trainer, whatever you want to call it. Make it very simple. A tear and fold formula. And what I know to be true in this coaching industry is a couple of things. You need about these 4 corners, and it's all about your message. The message that you provide out there, one message on multiple platforms to make millions of dollars, one message. Most coaches get stuck in that one message. No, but I don't want to leave anybody out, Dr. Sonia. I want to help everyone. You are not here to serve everyone. You have been called into this industry to serve a group of people. I almost said small, but small could be 1 million people. Right? If there's over 7 billion people in the world and you're looking for a small group to serve in your coaching program and really sharing a message that's going to change their life, it changes your life in turn. The second area of this message is really about sharing. You have a message and you're going to share it as much as possible on every platform. You know, I hear these coaches that are out there and they're afraid to go live, right? If you were to look me up, I'm on all platforms, simply because the more people we get in front of, the more opportunities that people have to learn from us. And the more we get to create amazing content for people to learn, right? And so really taking that one coaching program and turning it into a $1 million company, again, looks like you have a very bold message that's out there around what you're going to be teaching people. One, I keep going to the one, the power of one, right? Sharing it on as many platforms as possible, and then looking at how can you scale that thing? How can you scale that program? And many that I know out here helping over 300,000 people, especially women in this coaching space, what I realize there are a lot of coaches that are coming to the forefront of being a coach, but they're being taught to coach one-to-one. And with one-to-one, you can't scale. Because the max you can go to is how many hours in a day do you have available to work with someone one-to-one. And I know many coaches and consultants are going to share with you, it's okay, maybe starting out, but in order for you to scale, you're going to have to learn how to do it differently. You're going to have to learn how to do it in even in a more powerful way, right? And being able to scale. And last but not least, you're going to have to really turn it into a company. And when I say company, that means you're hiring teams and staff. I realize that in my coaching business, I get to bring moms home from a 9-to-5 and be able to work from home. Can you imagine you hiring a team of people? You have now become a company and you're helping with the unemployment rate that's out there. Can you imagine that? You're hiring people. And I'll be honest, that was one of the most nerve-wracking things that I had to do, especially when you're talking about VPs and chief of operations and client care managers and COOs and all of that. It was nerve-wracking. Don't let anybody tell you like, yeah, they just woke up one day in this coaching industry and like, I'm going to hire me a vice president. I don't recommend you do that right away until you've learned how to scale. And what I mean by that, let's drop some numbers on this board, shall we? I love numbers. Numbers don't lie. People may, but numbers don't, okay? So let's look at, if you're looking at one-on-one coaching, right? And then you look at one-to-many in this space and what that looks like. Like this thing's making all this noise, right? But the one-to-one, if it's one-to-one, how many people can you handle at one time? If your sessions are an hour, and if you're anything like me, you may go over a little bit and you look at me like it's an hour and a half, and you're talking about doing 5 to 10 of these a day. That's a lot, right? It's a lot. So think about your coaching program that may be at $3,000. Right now, if you don't have one at $3,000, let's start looking at how can we do that. Just click the link somewhere around this video to learn more. How do you begin to scale your one-to-one coaching program, or how do you take your one-to-one program and scale it into a coaching company? So that $3,000 program that you have from one-to-one, I want you to look at working with 50 people a quarter, right? If you're on all social media platforms, you're out there dropping content, being bold, and you're asking, right, for people to work with you. You're giving them an offer. All it is an opportunity for people to begin to work with you, right? If I were to do this all over again, yes, at this point we have over a $28 million company, and we did that in 3 years. But if I were to do it all over again, the person who told me to do it one-to-one, I wouldn't go back and slap them per se. I wouldn't do that. But I would really go have a conversation with them, because that meant at that time they only knew one-to-one. When I got privy to this inside scoop on how the top 2% of coaches are generating millions, they're making 98% of the income, I realized because they understand the one-to-many formula, right? And is looking at how many people can you work with a quarter. I'm just using these numbers for the sake of time and to give you an idea of what to start looking at. Your $3,000 program that you were doing one-to-one, begin to create a journey for this collective group of people, right? And understanding you're looking for at a minimum of 50. So 50 times 3,000, okay? What is that, about 250? Is that what it is? Oh, excuse me, 150? Okay? So you're looking for 50 people a quarter at $3,000 gives you $150,000 right there. Wow. All I could say is wow. You went from one-to-one, being able to work with maybe 3 a day, maybe more, which means you really didn't take a lunch, which meant you didn't get a chance to do a lot of things. But now you're understanding how to take your one coaching program and turn it into a $1 million coaching company. It's a game changer. And as you look at this, let's say it's $3,000 and it's 150,000, right? I'm looking over here to make sure I'm good. So 150 times 4, because you're going to do this every quarter. Every single quarter. What is that? $600,000, right? Not quite $1 million, but you're getting better. You took this $3,000 and barely making $100,000 a year, and you over here, you're at $600,000 because you realize now we're going from one-to-one and one-to-many. Can you have a combination of the two? Yes, but a majority of your clients should be over here, not in the one-to-one, but over here, okay? The next one, let's imagine you get bold and you say, I realize my coaching program that I was doing one-to-one is now worth $5,000. The price is based on the value that you bring to people. The value, what are the results you're going to get for them? And so when you come over from this 5,000, and let's say we work with 50 people, now you're at $250,000 a quarter. $250,000, there's 4 quarters in a year. My dear, now you're at $1 million. Simply because you made a decision to go from one-to-one over to one-to-many and change the game. That is how you take a coaching program that potentially you were doing one-to-one and start working with one-to-many to be able to build a $1 million coaching company where you have to hire people to help you. You don't need 100 team members. You don't need all that, but you do need people to help you scale this thing. This is what scaling looks like. This is Dr. Sonia. If this is you and you really want to understand this more, just click in the chat or below this, go ahead and say, help me scale. And I'll see you at the next Wisdom Vault. And remember, if you didn't come from a wealthy family, make sure a wealthy family comes from you.
Like and subscribe to Dr. Sonia TV.